Whipstitch TV, we are making this sweet, sassy, cute, adorable, easy to finish A-line skirt. I've got my skirt front and my skirt back. I also have a coordinating invisible zipper in a slightly darker shade of pink. And then I have a length of continuous bias tape. I'm going to complete my darts. And I've already transferred the markings from the pattern pieces just by folding back the pattern piece and drawing the line in the same spot that it is on the pattern. You can do that with a ruler. Lay your pattern piece on top of the fabric, line up the edge of your ruler, fold the pattern piece back, and then draw a line right down the edge. Very, very simple to transfer those markings. And you're going to draw those on the wrong side of your fabric so that then you can take them to the machine. And then my darts are stitched and they're pressed nice and flat. And as you press them, you really want to press into the tip of the dart. I don't want it to fold over there. I really want it to round out because, again, I'll have my round body parts going in there, right? Okay, so next we install the zipper on this. And I'm going to place my skirt front right side up and work on the right to me side, which is the left as you're wearing it side, to install this zipper. And this is an invisible zipper. The main difference between an invisible zipper and a standard zipper is that the teeth curve around to the back on the invisible one. Do you see that? So that when I unzip it, you can see that they sort of roll away like that. Roll, roll, roll. So before you can install it, you'll have to open those out. So that after pressing, it looks like that, right? And now the teeth are rolled open so we can really access right in here, up next to the teeth. Now I've done one other thing since I walked away, and that was to shorten my zipper right there. When I lay my zipper down at the edge of my skirt, it is ginormously, ridiculously too long. So back at my machine, I use my zigzag stitch to zigzag in place over the teeth. Anywhere you sew over the teeth, the zipper will no longer function past that point, so I have effectively made a new zipper stop here. And then everything below that, think, I can just chop off and get rid of. So now I have a shorter zipper. So I'm going to lay my zipper face down, right? And let's look at that again. There's my zipper pull face down on my skirt because I'm working on the right side of my skirt, but it's going to flip around to the wrong side. And when I line it up here at the edge, the side of my skirt, I have a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so it can be pretty close to the edge. And it's tempting to put it here, you know, because you think, well, the zipper's got to go in the middle. But this is an invisible zipper, which means that after the seam is stitched, we'll actually, bink, flip everything over, which means this will go, bink, and flip to the other side. And then there's my zipper pull. So we really do want to be working with this right hand leg of my zipper there. And then I'm going to pin that in place. And you know, I tell people all the time, you can buy an invisible zipper foot. They're cool, they work. I myself don't really use one because I have found it to be just as easy to stitch it on with my standard presser foot as it is to use the invisible zipper foot. Now, people who like the invisible zipper foot swear by the zipper foot. And there are circumstances under which I would use it because I wouldn't want to have to rip it out afterwards. You know, heaven forbid I make a mistake and I have to tear it out. But in this case, a simple A-line skirt like this, I say quick and easy, right? Okay, so we're going back to the machine. You can see in your zipper tape, see how it's herringboned there? And there's this sort of gutter here. There's a void in that gutter where it's not really woven the same, and that's really what I'm shooting for. And we are getting right up next to those zipper teeth. You don't want to go through the zipper teeth. Remember, anywhere you sew through the zipper teeth, it don't zip past that anymore. So we want to be very careful as we're sewing, and so run in that little gutter as far as you can until the zipper foot hits the zipper pull on your machine. The presser foot, you know, whatever foot you're using, hits the zipper pull, and then we'll stop and come back and compare our results. And there's the result. Stitch nice and clean right up next to those teeth. At the base, I went as far as I could, and then I left a back stitch, right? And then I always test and make sure that it will actually zip closed. You do have to pull the fabric away a little bit, and it zips shut, bing, nice and pretty. All right, so now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to lay it back down, right side down, Come on, behave. Get my other side. Also right side up. All right, so this is the back. And now watch closely because this part's tricky. I'm going to take the zipper and flip it right side up. And then I'm going to take it again and flip it over, which makes it feel like you have impossibly twisted this lower section, but we have to do that to make sure these teeth are facing the right direction. All right, so now we pin again. And now that's stitch 2. So then we sort of go through the mildly confusing part where we flip everything over. So now my zipper pull is right side up, and there's my front and there's my back, right? And now I'm going to zip shut. And depending on how accurately you got, come on, up next to the zipper teeth will determine how invisible your zipper is. There we go. So it's sort of masked as the fabric rolls back together. The zipper gets masked in between, which is so nice. Now to finish out the side seam. And I guess for a lot of people that's the major difference between doing a standard zipper and invisible, is that the invisible you don't stitch the side seam until you're done. So I'm going to pick up here. See, that's where my my stitches ended before, and I'm going to start just before that back stitch, and then all the way down this side seam, and then do all of this other side seam before I come back and do the waist. With the side seams in and stitched, I've got this. Hooray! So it's finished on these two sides, got a zipper installed. Now I need to do my hem and my waistline, right? Maybe we'll do the hem first because it's pretty straightforward. We are going to do what's called a double turned hem. So I'll fold up 1/4 inch and press all the way around, and then I'll fold up another 1/2 inch and press all the way around, and then stitch very, very close to this inner fold. That way you don't have any raw edges on the hem. Let's go sew. This is our final step. I'm going to take some bias tape and attach it at the waistline to make a very simple waistband. So I've taken my bias tape, stretch, stretch, stretch. This is single fold. Bing, bing. I'm using my 25mm Clover bias tape maker to make this, so it's about 1 inch, give or take. I'm going to open out my zipper and working on the right side of the fabric, right sides together. Open out one side of my bias tape there, all the way around this upper edge. You can pin in place to hold it down. All the way around this upper edge, I will stitch in that fold line, boop, boop, which is a 1/2 inch seam allowance, to create a waistline. When it's finished, it looks like this. There's the seam, it presses over. Our goal is going to be to come in, take the whole seam and all of the bias tape and press it to the back. It will be invisible from the exterior of the skirt. You'll only see it on the inside as the waistband. Little treat just for you. On these edges here, you can fold the whole zipper over, fold it down, right there, bing, bing, and then you'll come through after pinning it in place, and you'll stitch close to this folded edge all the way across and be completely done. So let's go look and see what that looks like when you're finished. And then in the final product you get this. Very clean from the right side, very clean from the wrong side, a perfectly pretty A-line skirt. Now let's say, just as a bonus, that you don't want to do the finish that we've done here with the bias tape on the inside of the skirt. Maybe the fabric, like this one, is a little bit sheer and you want to have some more coverage than that. Easy to fix. Line it. Make a second skirt identically to the first skirt, and instead of applying the bias tape, but at the same step, after the side seams are stitched, you'll put them right sides together, flip the lining to the inside, press around the upper edge. And then here at the zipper with the lining, you'll want this side seam to stop here, so there's an opening in the lining. You fold back the seam allowances and then hand stitch it in place to the lining tape. That way, the upper edge gets finished by the lining because it's identical to the outer skirt, but you don't see the zipper stitches on the side where it's attached. Very easy way to alter this particular pattern.